asset management company, so predominantly in commercial property.
Okay.
We've been around in business since 1993.
Wow.
And it's we basically represent the owner's interests in quite a range of commercial property. We've got quite a lot of office towers and retail, some big box industrial.
Right.
Our clients are pretty wide and varied.
Right.
So one of our largest clients is a large charity where they've got some pretty significant land holdings.
Okay.
And through to some high net worths that are busy doing other things in their lives, surgeons and so forth, through to family trusts.
Right.
And yeah, we do everything from the property accounting side, facilities management, all the lease management, through to seismic upgrades, building improvements, buying and selling, obviously insurance, bit of finance.
Yeah. So like for you guys, you've got people who have their own worlds, like their own occupations and their own careers, but they've got a bit of pot of funds, they've got assets. Then that's where you guys come in, right? Because you take care of their assets, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're by and large busy doing other things.
That's right. Yeah.
They've done well in other parts of their life, invested their money in commercial assets, and just going off and getting on with their normal lives.
So how many in the team?
We've got it's revolving, but 17 in our team at the moment. So it's really good. Yeah, divided up between, as I say, accounts, facilities, property management, and admin. So
yeah. I know, like, the way we connected was obviously through a mutual friend and all that, and we started talking about business and started talking about things. One of the cool things I learned from you guys was around this whole relationship game between businesses. You know what I mean? It's around, I connect with one of your guys, Brad, quite often, and we're talking about what's new, what's happening. We're talking about, and I think that's quite a cool part of your business. You know what I mean? You guys are, you're a 17-man band. You've got some amazing assets on your books, but you're still quite down to earth. You're still, do you know what I mean? Quite in that sort of space. That's quite cool, actually.
Yeah, cheers. I mean, property for me is all about relationships.
Right.
It's a really fun business to be in.
Yeah.
Be it, the real estate agents, we rely on them for bringing us tenants, bringing us referrals, but also just telling us about what's happening in the industry. And that goes through then the ethos of all parts of our business.
Yes.
So if we're, talking to lawyers about changes in the law society lease structure, if we're talking to HVAC consultants around, what's the latest and greatest for ways to solve problems. It's the same with insurance.
Yeah.
In an ever-changing field, particularly in the last, decade.
Yeah.
But even just post the anniversary weekend floods in Auckland.
Yes.
For us, it's an ethos where it's relationship driven. We problem solve together.
Yeah.
And also when we come into being, you and I, and in small, medium enterprises,
that's it. Yeah.
That's like how you're finding things. We can suddenly go into what HR solutions.
Yeah. It's like a support community, right?
Exactly. Because it's pretty isolating being a business owner sometimes.
100%.
And so being able to chew the fat and go, hey, how are you finding this? What's happening? I find it's, everybody loves to celebrate stuff. Yeah. But also at the same time, in a pretty tough recessionary environment at the moment, having someone to go like, oh, geez.
Yeah, you got to talk through stuff as well, right? You got to go, hey, we're going through this. How about you guys? Or and we heard people talk about these things. How do you guys feel about that? And get some ideas off there, right? One of the cool things I think for like our business, for example, is also connecting with your community and solving solutions for your clients as well. Do you know what I mean? And often, like, I've been talking to your team and, got a call from Brad and he's just like, hey, got this curveball situation from an insurance perspective. What do you do? And these are not even our clients, but the relationship both businesses have. We're happy to service that. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's cool, right?
Yeah, it's a long-term game, right?
Right,
and,
exactly.
And so you never know. You give someone some quick on-the-spot advice one day, and then 3 years later they call you up and they go, "I've got something completely different.
Yes.
Something that's now a client," and and all of a sudden you're going, "Oh yeah, just snowballs."
Yeah.
I think it's a case of, it's a typical sort of Kiwi ethos. We just want to work with good people.
That's it.
You just want to, we're all in the service industry, so it's also about, working with people that can tell you pretty quickly, pretty straight, yes or no, in terms of, hey, should we do this? Should we do that? We're not wasting our time.
No.
But then at the same time going, there's a better way to do that, man.
So true.
And if you're just working with people who are solely seeking the shortest route to an answer, then you might be completely unawares there's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And that could be for your own business or for your clients.
Yeah. Before the cameras turned on, we're like sitting out there and talking about like how you guys are like refining your processes and it's just if it's the right time to do it, it's now. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of business owners I'm talking to, like, and I actually said to one the other day, I think they're like a 90-man band, right? And he goes, we're having coffee and we're talking. He's like, yeah, like review our stuff. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. And in that conversation, I was saying to him, like if you guys were flat out right now, we would not be having this conversation. But it's cool. Like there's a lot of smart people out there that are like, okay, it's quiet right now. What can we do different? What can we change? How can we be better? Do you know what I mean? And you just referring to that.
Yeah, we are flat out right now, but not necessarily for the right reasons.
Yeah.
In a tough market, for us in our world, lease renewals take longer.
Yeah.
Every invoice needs to be triple checked to make sure that things aren't being squeezed in.
Yeah.
You've got more debtors because businesses are struggling, and not necessarily taking a hardline approach is the best for everybody. So there's lots and lots of work that we're having to do to get the same result for our clients.
Yes.
So unlike some businesses where the revenue's not there, our headline revenue is largely perpetual, so that's sort of fine. But we have to work extra hard to find the additional revenue, but also the workloads to fulfill our obligations under perpetual revenue is a lot more.
Yes.
So
true.
Our refinements are around how can we be more efficient to provide the right service.
Yeah.
But in a way that actually is we're not dragging things out. We're not missing things.
No.
The guys have, things aren't getting swamped in emails where it's like, okay, so we can focus on the key things for our clients. So for us, those business efficiencies, when we work with you, and in place you go, right, well, hey, we've had an incident.
Yes.
We need a claim done.
Yes.
Take care of it. The quicker we can get that happening, the quicker my team can get on to make sure the tenants are happy, the works are done properly, and we get back to normal life. Because those are the things we don't get. We don't get paid extra for.
No,
it's just
no. That's the same as us, right? I think I was talking to our claims, and we were talking about how we don't actually get paid for claims, but we lose accounts because of bad claims processes. You know what I mean? So it has this real weight on our business, do you know what I mean, that we don't kick ass. And that's probably the one part that I spend most of my time in as a business owner going, could we have done this better? How can we collect information from a client with less friction? How can we have great relationships with repairers, with loss adjusters, with the actual insurers, to smoothen their process out? Because retention of clients is probably the main thing, right?
Yeah, we found it was interesting in the immediate aftermath of those floods a couple of years ago in Auckland, where we had businesses that we just needed to be able to get in and get things done.
Yes,
so that we didn't have loss of rents claims because their businesses were interrupted.
That's right.
And we found that with some of our insurers that we were using at the time, this is prior to our relationship really kicking off. there was a view where it was, hey, if Terra Firma's involved, you're good to go.
Nice.
We know that you guys will put in the right claim.
That's it.
After the fact.
That's
just
it.
go, spend the money, get it done.
That's it.
Get the works done. We've also had the opposite of that.
Yes.
Where we're still battling 2 years later.
Yeah.
With some a property particularly that we got picked up into. We weren't managing it at the time.
Yeah.
Came to us afterwards, and it's been 2 years trying to drag out a fairly small, relatively small claim.
Yeah, right.
And that's just, it's aggravating for everybody involved.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So for us, we believe our reputation is really solid.
Yeah.
That we should be able to just get on and get things done.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. But being able to work with, with yourselves now to go, okay, cool. If there's a large event in the future,
yes,
and we've got masses and masses of properties all around the city or all around the North Island being affected.
Yeah.
If we're one of those companies where people go, okay, great, just Terra Firma, let them get on with that.
Yes.
That's we'll tidy up all the details later on.
Yeah.
Then that makes everybody's life simple.
It's spot on.
Process,
I'm glad you brought that up because for us, we've got our business relationship, right? And so you got it there, but we actually we build a portfolio, right, with you guys. And in that portfolio, we actually have conversations with the clients and put a business case through, right? So we go, hey, just letting you know, we've got this amount of assets with these guys that are insured, but this is their processes. This is how they run a business and all that. Then to get that slick process of ticking off claims, probably my company secret right now, I'm just sharing it. But to get that slick processes done, with the insurance claim side of it, it was all these prior conversations, So it goes back to that relationship thing, like where we often catch up, and even if it's a beer or even if it's a lunch or anything like that, just understanding each other's business. Because when we're actually putting cases through with the insurance company, we're like, hey, we know these guys. We know, they've got enough resources. We know that they follow a certain SOP or a process. We're good. Do you know what I mean? And
and I think that's the cool part as well about the catch ups that you have with it. And it's not all it's not all your clients. It's just a wider group of like-minded people. Because some of it is putting the face to the name. It could be with the reinsurer. And it's like, oh, okay, it's a straight up person. It could be meeting up with guys with concreting businesses that completely unrelated to insurance. We can call up and go, hey, we've got a problem with this facade. Can you come and have a look at it?
That's right.
And this is where I think, coming together of like-minded people in the industry just means that, we can pull our knowledge, pull those relationships, get back to, when we face technology, I think the differentiation is going to be that hyper-personalization. So the more you get to that elevated part that technology can never replace, which is those relationships, an ability in a market like New Zealand to pick up the phone and go, hey, what do you reckon of this? Or, have you got someone that can help me fix this problem?
That's right. Yeah.
And I think being, with the insurance being in the middle of that, being the connector of the dots of all these people, then it's awesome for us to be involved in it. It really helps our network to be able to go, oh man, there was someone I met the other day who could have a really great solution.
That's right. I think when we ran our little events and all that, and I really appreciate you guys actually turning up because there's a few different industry types that are all there, but we all sort of service a certain sort of client base, right? And from feedback from other people, they appreciate that. It's like all these different industries, and sometimes people don't remember names or whatever. It's like, oh, but I was talking to that property guy, and he sort of gave me a couple of tips. You know what I mean? And I think that's such a beautiful thing with community. And then you leave a meeting or you leave something, and you got something with you. You know what I mean? And then 2 months down the track, I'm chatting with these guys, and I'm going, how's things going? They're like, the guy at your event sort of mentioned, they did something with this property. Even recently, we have a client that's like, my investments portfolio is starting to change, and I want to look at some other options. You know what I mean? I'm like, right, let's talk to you guys. And after a conversation, he's just like, dude, that's amazing. And it's got nothing to do with insurance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But having this relationship with you guys and all these different partnerships, I think is so cool, because my client who appreciates our advice, who appreciates those relationships, we can go, hey, Richard, these guys are now wanting to cash up on here and put it into something big. You know, what do you guys offer, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just, you know, sharing that knowledge base, and being able to have a network for you as well, where as you say, like, when your clients go, hey, I'm looking at this property, have you got someone that can give me a
thought
half
process?
an hour,
Yeah, that's right.
quick run the cutter on it, and you never know, I might have looked at it, you know, for somebody else. I might have looked at it 10 years ago. I know. Half the time we get ones go, oh we actually owned that. Like,
yeah. Or you've got a database, right? And you go, hey, actually, this might not work for you, but I've got something similar, maybe in a smaller scale, smaller size, that actually connects that. And I think that's cool. Just quickly, one thing I want to touch upon is, you know, you're obviously the business owner and all that. What's your special power? What brings Terra Firma lights on? What's your special power? Yeah,
it's an interesting question, because it's like it's a combination between what's my elevator pitch, but what's the company's elevator pitch.
That's right. And it's more of a company thing, right? Like,
yeah. And I think as a business owner, you bring an ethos, but I wasn't the founder of the business, so I'm carrying on a certain ethos. The easiest way I'd say it is basically being able to have a oh man, you're gonna have to edit this.
No, this is great. That's it. Making him think now.
Our asset management is a term that's often used in our industry, but not particularly well understood.
Okay.
For me, asset management, it's an elevated form of property management.
Okay.
But what it really is somebody that can truly think like an owner.
Yeah.
So somebody that really looks after your property, from why did it cost $136 to change a light bulb, through to I know we've got these options under the lease to do X, Y, Z, but should we do it? And how do we think about that? And how do we think strategically about the best way to look after my asset? You know, and it may be that now's the time to sell it. And look, that could mean that I don't get my management fees anymore. But it could be that that's the best thing to do.
That's fine.
How do we think beyond the market? And really make sure that are you getting the best exposure to tenants? And have we created that lease deal in the best possible way? Sure. So what makes us different, and it's something I'm quite strong in as well, is that ability to think in a transactional mindset, in an asset management mindset, to really go, okay, forget the cookie cutter model that the big corporates deliver you. And if we really dig down into the best advice.
That's it. Nice.
And when I look at why we end up with a lot of the clients we end up with, and a lot of them have come from the big corporates. They've been there, they've got the same stock standard service.
That's right.
For us, it's about the very individual curated approach.
Nice. Right. Wow.
And when we particularly look in this current market with difficulties and no tailwinds, that's where we've picked up a lot of business that come to us going, I just need someone to think a little bit more here around the solution.
So true.
And so, it means that we get some really, really interesting situations for our clients. Some really fascinating things, whether that be a body corporate, like some pretty grunty body corporate disputes. We're in the midst of one at the moment. And through to, some pretty challenging environments for our clients, where you go, look, we've got some vacancy in the building, the bank's on the case, they need an explanation as to how we're going to get out of this, and we provide that. So we provide that proper strategy.
Yeah.
But that only gets delivered if the basics every day are delivered.
Okay.
So it starts with our facilities team, it starts with our finance team, making sure that you got to control the controllables, and have we really dug deep into the small things? So we, as a company ethos, we've got to basically think like an owner all the time, and every dollar counts. And then the second part of that is that what's intertwined in it, relationships count.
Yes.
So yes, there's options under a lease. Yes, there's contracts. Yes, there's things. But is that firstly, you want to understand your position.
That's it.
And then secondly, we want to be advising our owners and going, okay, here's your position.
Yeah.
Here's your options. Here's what you should do about it. And then you're working with their group of trusted advisors, their lawyers, their insurance. Okay. So getting into the weeds.
It's quite similar to us, where you're sort of embedding yourselves into these individuals and their ambitions, their goals and their assets, and going and then being that expert advice, being that backup plan as well. Do you know what I mean?
Being able to know the full picture and go, okay, right, well, how does this particular owner... One of the challenges in our business is we have lots of different owners, lots of different clients, lots of different tenants, and they all have different mentalities. So unlike being a large institution where we have one ownership mentality, we've got 60, 70 different owners' mentalities.
Right, wow.
And so you've got to be constantly going, okay, for that particular owner, how would they like me to deal with this? And putting different hats on and going, okay, now in that particular asset class, in that particular suburb, what are my levers I can pull here? So can we, yes, we might be able to do that, but is that going to result in the best outcome for my client? And for that particular client, what are their key metrics? So being able to get down into that detail of going, if we do this here, does that give them the best result?
Yes.
And then that outcome for one client is going to be potentially different to our client just down the road. So there's quite a few variables. But I just say to the team all the time, we've just got to think like the owner, and really try and understand what their drivers are.
That's it.
And that goes into insurance as well.
Yes.
If you really think, okay, right, well, they've got these assets, this is their risk, this is where that property sits, this is what we want to be making sure we're covered for here.
And just basically advising on the gaps, right? Just basically saying, hey, this is all fine and dandy, but just letting you know there's other areas that are probably not covered. There was this guy, and he's been an advisor for I think over 30 years now. He said this really cool thing. I was like, I like this. He goes, I sell the exclusions.
Right.
I sell you things you're not covered for. I was like, hey, just letting you know, like the insurance company has excluded all these things. And then he goes, by doing that, it's just pure clarity. It's just, and I was like, Rick, I really like that, because it's so easy to write there and go, hey, we saved you this amount, your excess is this amount, and then it's that little gray dark box of just letting you know this is not covered, and he's like, nah, I just focus on that. I'm just selling you, I'm telling you all these things are not going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Well, because we sort of can easily just sit there and go, oh yeah, I'm covered.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I paid the bill, so the building's covered. Do you know what I mean? But what's the difference between a replacement value and fully instating the place, and indemnity value and all that sort of. We had these guys that had a building that was really old, and the insurance company were like, we're just going to indemnify this. We're not going to replace this, right? So indemnity value only. And so he calls us up, not even our policy. Calls me up and he goes, I need your help. How do I do this? Because I can't afford, to replace it, I'm only getting pretty much half of its value. And I should say, hey, I actually got a couple of connections. Let's talk to some QVs. Let's talk to some valuers. Let's get this going. And we managed to build this whole thing up and give the insurance company some confidence that, hey, okay, maybe we should cover it this way. And they go, yep, sounds good. And then he takes it off to his insurance broker and they're like, maybe we don't want to do this. And he comes back and goes, do you want to do it? I was like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But there's so many intricate parts to it, but also like going back to this thing, it's so important to have the community around you of different professionals. You know what I mean? So your one client gets all these different relationships, but they only deal with Richard. You know, they only deal with the team over here. You know, so
And I've got I've got a lawyer that has a very similar mentality of just pulling together lots of clients all the time,
right?
And then we'll call each other up and just go, hey, what do you reckon of this? What do you reckon of this? And it's not. There's no egos. There's no. Oh mate, how did you not know that? Just bouncing ideas around, and then it's just having mates in the working world that.
That's pretty much it,
sort of help. And then that working world becomes, a social world.
Well, it does. And it is. That's probably even the best part, right? Like, it's when it's sort of connected with business and it's connected with life and it's a support sort of mechanism, right? Because business is.
Just no bullshit, no dickheads.
No, that's right. And I think getting phone calls even from you guys and from places, we want each other to do well. We want each other's business to do well, and so it's quite easy to then go, oh, actually, I don't know that, but I know someone who does. So let me get back to you on that. And then you pick up the phone, and for us, relationships with insurers is so important. So they see your number, they're like, oh, I'll answer this call. And they're like, what's up? And it's like, got the situation. How would you look at it, And those are like key areas. Yeah. Hey, man, thanks so much for the chat.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it.
Great to see you again.
Thanks again, man.
Cool.